Star Trek. Voyager finally gets the movie fans always wanted. Star Trek. Voyager got the movie fans wanted and financed. The flagship series of the United Paramount Network, UPN, Star Trek. Voyager ran for 7 seasons from 1995 to 2001. Unlike Star Trek, The Next Generation, Star Trek, Voyager did not transition into feature films. However, Voyager delivered several 2-part episodes throughout its 7 seasons, which were TV movies in their own right. Produced by David Zapponi's 455 films, To the Journey, looking back at Star Trek, Voyager premiered at Paramount Studios in Los Angeles on November 7, 2024, and at Symphony Space in New York City on November 11. To the Journey screened for backers of the Retrospective documentary's Indiegogo campaign, which raised over $1.2 million, making it the most successful Indiegogo fundraiser of all time. I was fortunate to be a guest at the LA premiere thanks to producer Ryan T. Husk and 455 films. To the Journey, looking back at Star Trek, Voyager's Los Angeles premiere was a star-studded gala at the Paramount Theater in Paramount Studios. Special guests included Robert Beltran, Robert Picardo, Garrett Wang, and Tim Russ, as well as Dominic Keating from Star Trek Enterprise, Nicole DeBoer from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Rekha Sharma from Star Trek Discovery. Also in attendance were Star Trek Voyager executive producers Rick Berman, Brannon Braga, and Brian Fuller, Denise and Michael Okuda, as well as Bill Nye and Star Trek Prodigy co-executive producer Aaron J. Waltke. It was a rare chance to see Berman and Braga in particular reunite in person. Following the screening, the cast, crew, producers, and everyone in attendance associated with Star Trek Voyager and To the Journey took the stage for a group photo. Check it out below. To the Journey's New York premiere at Symphony Space in New York City followed the weekend Star Trek New Jersey convention held by Creation Entertainment. Special guests at the Star Trek Voyager documentary's NICE premiere were Star Trek Voyager's Kate Mulgrew and Ethan Phillips, as well as Star Trek Deep Space Nine's Terry Farrell and Robin Curtis from the Star Trek movies. Star Trek Voyager documentary's LA premiere was a tribute to Jeri Taylor. To the Journey's Los Angeles premiere was preceded by heartfelt tributes to Star Trek Voyager's writer and executive producer Jeri Taylor, who passed away on October 24, 2024. Executive producers Brannon Braga, Rick Berman, and Brian Fuller, along with actors Garrett Wang and Robert Picardo, spoke about the influence and impact of Jeri Taylor. The speakers were well chosen as they delivered about Jeri from the perspective of actors, fellow writers, and producers, describing just how important Taylor was to the development and quality of Star Trek Voyager. I recorded some video of the tributes that you can watch below. Jeri Taylor holds a lofty and celebrated status as the first female Star Trek showrunner. Before she helped develop Star Trek Voyager, Taylor was an executive producer of Star Trek The Next Generation, and she was showrunner for the 7th and final season of TNG. Jeri is credited as the guiding force behind the character of Captain Kathryn Janeway, working with Kate Mulgrew to create the iconic first female captain to lead a Star Trek series. Taylor also wrote the Star Trek Voyager novel Mosaic, which served as Janeway's biography. The year is 2025, and after decades of anticipation, Star Trek Voyager is finally getting the cinematic treatment its loyal fan base has been dreaming about. For years, fans of Captain Kathryn Janeway and her intrepid crew have petitioned, speculated, and waited for their beloved series to receive the full movie experience, one that rivals the blockbuster treatments given to Star Trek, the original series, and Star Trek The Next Generation. This long-awaited film, titled Voyager: The Delta Return, promises to bring a satisfying conclusion to the journey that began nearly 30 years ago when Voyager first set course for the far reaches of the Delta Quadrant. The return to the Delta Quadrant, the premise of Voyager: The Delta Return, is both nostalgic and innovative. Rather than continuing directly from where the series left off in 2001, the film takes place over 2 decades after Voyager's triumphant return to Earth. The crew has moved on with their lives, some to retirement, others to high-ranking positions within Starfleet. However, when a mysterious signal from the Delta Quadrant reaches Earth, believed to be connected to Voyager's lost crew member Commander Chakotay, Janeway knows that the journey isn't truly over. The plot sets in motion with Janeway, once again portrayed by Kate Mulgrew, now an admiral, reluctantly pulled out of her semi-retirement to lead a covert mission back to the Delta Quadrant. The stakes are personal for her as she grapples with past decisions, unresolved emotions, and a lingering sense of unfinished business. This journey isn't just about rescue, it's about closure. A new mission, old Friends fans will be thrilled to see familiar faces return to the fold. Robert Beltran reprises his role as Chakotay, but this time his character is shrouded in mystery. The plot hints at Chakotay having discovered an ancient alien technology that holds the key to understanding some of the most enigmatic mysteries of the Delta Quadrant. However, it may have also altered him in ways that Janeway could never have foreseen. Beltran's nuanced performance will be a key anchor for the emotional intensity of the film. Jeri Ryan is back as 7 of 9, now a fully realized individual who has left Starfleet to continue her humanitarian work, but her complex relationship with both Janeway and Chakotay remains pivotal. Seven's struggles with her identity as a former Borg drone are juxtaposed against Janeway's own inner battles, and the film explores whether Voyager's return to the Delta Quadrant is a step forward or a regression into old wounds. Fans will also be delighted to see Tim Russ as Tuvok, who plays a vital role in the mission as Janeway's stalwart ally. Tuvok's calm logic is, as always, a counterbalance to Janeway's emotional fire, but the film delves deeper into his Vulcan psyche, revealing a side of him that fans have long speculated about but rarely seen. Even Tom Paris, Robert Duncan McNeil, and B'Elanna Torres, Roxanne Dawson, return, having settled into domestic life with their family. Their dynamic adds both lighthearted moments and tension, as B'Elanna, who spent so many years fighting to return home, is reluctant to leave it behind once more. Cinematic visuals. Voyager scale. What sets Voyager, the Delta Return, apart from the TV series is its cinematic scope. The producers have spared no expense in delivering jaw-dropping visuals that bring the Delta Quadrant to life in ways never before seen on screen. Advances in CGI allow the unique alien landscapes and species from Voyager's original run to be rendered with breathtaking realism. From the eerie expanse of the void to the vibrant yet dangerous expanse of Kazan space, every moment feels grander, more dangerous, and more alive. The Borg, of course, make their long-anticipated return, but in this iteration, they are more menacing than ever. Gone are the bulky, somewhat dated designs of the 1990s. In this film, the Borg have evolved, a new strain of cybernetic terror that forces Janeway and her crew to question everything they thought they knew about assimilation. This is Voyager at its darkest, and the stakes have never been higher. The emotional core at its heart, though, Voyager, the Delta Return, is not just about action or grand space battles, it's about people. The film poignantly examines the psychological and emotional toll of Voyager's original 70,000 light-year journey home. For Janeway, it's about confronting the ghosts of her decisions, from her controversial alliance with the Borg to the numerous sacrifices she asked her crew to make. For 7 of 9, it's about whether she can ever truly be free of the Borg's influence. For Chakotay, it's a question of identity, legacy, and purpose. The film also explores the personal sacrifices made by the crew. Janeway's own relationships have faltered under the weight of her duty, and as she leads Voyager once again, she must ask herself whether a captain can ever truly return home. Fans who followed Voyager's 7-year journey on television will find themselves emotionally invested in these character arcs, as the film honors their growth while taking them into uncharted territory.